up, bitches? We out of pocket.
Yeah, we out of pocket.
We hot like a hot pocket. We out of pocket. Bitch.
Don't talk to me about avocado toast until you can spell avocado,
We hot like a hot
right?
pocket. We out of pocket.
Alright.
Bitch. Bye. We hot like a hot pocket.
Okay.
What's up, bitches? We out of pocket.
You're so out of pocket.
Why is this sticking, bro? You see that shit?
I thought it was like from your car.
The thing in the bottom.
Yeah.
Right here. We're recording.
Yay.
And we're off. Welcome back. Out of Pocket Podcast, the most underrated podcast in the world. We got a special guest. Yates is here, guys.
Woo.
Yo.
There's been... You guys... No, we've actually been getting a lot of people telling us to put you on, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's really
so
cool.
this is... The people spoke and we gave it to them.
Well, hey, man, it's an honor to be here, for real. I mean, like, just walking in here and everything and seeing the other podcasts, it's been really cool. I'm like, I really see a lot of growth coming for y'all.
Yay.
And
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
really cool.
We got big dreams.
Yeah. Got
To
to.
the moon, yeah.
Got to.
But, yeah, man. So I overheard you talking. You went to Def last night.
Oh, yeah. It was a good show, man.
Who played last night?
So it was, I think the headliner was Skeller, which he's on the Vibe Digital scene, all the wave music. And man, I don't know. I play guitar on top of my music, and I love wave
just so
music
cool,
because
yeah.
it just makes it sound so much more epic. So
Yeah.
I really fuck with the wave music, like big time. So it was Skeller, Barnacle Boy, which, yeah, man, that guy
Yeah.
really does it right. Like seriously, it's really. I've been following him for maybe I guess 2 years, and man, it's really been cool to watch him blow up within the past year, and he's a really good guy too, which adds
Yeah.
so much
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
equation,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You hate meeting people that you look up to or you think are dope artists and they're kind of just dickheads or they have a huge
Yeah.
ego because you
And
see
it
a lot of
happens
that.
all the time.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's and I tell newcomers all the time, I'm like, bro, your ego is not your amigo.
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
it's
I'm
really,
gonna start using that.
For real. It's it's literally what will make you deteriorate.
Yeah.
And you would
See.
think that's common knowledge, right?
Yeah.
But to some people, I don't know. They're feeling themselves in the moment, and they're like, "Oh, I'm playing that Iris. I'm that guy."
you live and you learn is all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now, and I've made my past mistakes throughout the past of just and it's really like I said, I always will tell the new coming artists just give that extra second to give a fuck what this person is saying to you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that really goes so.
It's not hard to be a
far.
decent human.
You know,
It's just not.
For instance, for me now, it always really hurt my feelings to, send my tracks to artists I really looked up to, and I'm like, yo, I just want your opinion. I don't even care if you can trash this shit.
Just acknowledge it.
Yeah,
Just acknowledge
you know
it,
what I
yeah.
mean? And so it would really hurt my feelings if they wouldn't even pay attention to it. But we'd have a full on conversation. But when I send some music, it's
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
okay. And it's I don't know. I'll never be that guy. And I'll constantly remind myself that I'm never going to be that guy. Cause I'll be damn, I need to go. I'll find myself sitting there in the morning. I'm like, man, I got 5 tracks to go through just because I've promised myself, you know what I mean? Cause that extra 2 seconds really goes so far.
Yeah.
It
But
takes 2 seconds.
you also have to there's a balance, right? Because you also have to be confident in what you do too.
But
Otherwise-
humble also.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that goes into tons of different conversations.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
being kind to yourself is the hardest thing to do in this industry. It's so cutthroat, and I mean, it's really you always hear people talk about how cutthroat the music industry is, and especially in Atlanta and bigger cities. It really is, and
Yeah.
it's so competitive, and it's
for sure.
it's like like other people, like other, and I've talked to a lot of artists about this. It's like even when you're, and I try to get out of this mentality, which I've definitely like been there before, is when you're like watching other artists, it's like, damn, sometimes they're so good it makes you just want to throw your laptop away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for instance, Resonant Language. Like I watched him recently and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm never gonna be that good. But that's like such a negative place to be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of like soul searching lately, and whenever I have those negative thoughts come in, I try to replace it with 3 positive things.
Yeah.
Hell
Good
yeah.
mindset to have.
It's really like, I mean, that shit really is like everything. So,
Look
but
forward to
yeah.
opportunities.
Hell yeah. How long have you been in the scene?
So I started out playing metal music.
Hence the guitar.
I find that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was. I played in a number of bands. You know, one or 2 that actually did something pretty cool, and then one being I was actually the front man, which was not what I was used to doing.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing like playing Warped Tour and like
Oh,
kind of touring
wow.
around, and yeah, it was really
That's
like
dope.
it became to be something
That's awesome.
really fucking sick. And
What
you
was
know,
the name of the band?
we were called Novembrance.
That sounds like a Warped Tour type band.
yeah. Man, we were a rowdy bunch, man. Like just
That's hilarious.
looking back, just dangerous. You're crazy.
We used to have like we called it a band, but he used to have a band and we called ourselves Monday Morning Milkshake.
I tell you what, man, the band names just keep getting more creative, like
Yeah.
as time goes.
Yeah.
What kind of music did y'all play? Like, what was like y'all's inspirations kind
Okay.
of at that time?
Really, okay. This band actually, they popped up on my Spotify recently. This band called For the Fallen Dreams. They really like. They really expanded like the melodic hardcore. So it was really we were really into, I guess, what you quote unquote called metalcore, but we were really into like beat down, real punky too. So it was like real tough guy, I mean stuff, you know, like, you know what I mean. But I mean, at the same, then we get all pretty and really, it was weird. But it was like this was
that
back
sounds
in
cool.
2009 and 2010. So it was like, you know, it was different back, like that the melodic stuff like wasn't really like a huge thing.
So that means you were really young then, right? Around the
I
time?
was like right out of high school.
Yeah.
Or, like
Shredding,
Yeah.
bro.
It was like crazy, you know. It was how fast everything moved.
Yeah.
And it was. I'm really grateful for those opportunities, because I mean, like, that really, like, I mean, just that taught me everything, you know. Because I was also booking our shows and everything back then. So
Wow, you're doing everything. You're y'all's manager.
Wore all the hats.
yeah, it was a lot, but I didn't even realize like this was going on. You know, it was just what we were, you know.
You don't know what you don't know.
No,
Yeah.
no, but
yeah.
I'm so like compared to now to what I do now, it's like, wow, I'm so grateful that I've had all this experience doing this shit.
Yeah. So what did that transition look like from getting from that to kind of
Sure.
transitioning into the music?
Yeah,
you
to
make
get
now?
back onto that. So I went to a Rusco show in 2011 and like
So good.
was so blown away. I didn't even understand
How did you get there?
Dude, I'll tell you what, this is actually a funny story. I was so mad and I hated dubstep for a long time because it was, I hated it because it was destroying the hardcore scene.
A lot of people in
Okay, yeah.
that trapped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
Who did they have beef with?
I don't know.
Trap.
Oh, like, I don't even, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
But it's like, oh, that right then, like, and still, like, you still, like, I'll still go to shows and these people still hate on electronic music because it really, like, I mean, you saw a huge movement go from, you know, packing out Swayze's at Marietta.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
To
yeah.
having no one there.
Is
Yeah.
Swayze still around?
No, it's not. And, like, man, I fucking love that place. Dude. Like,
There's a place called The Warehouse.
Yeah, that was the first place I ever
I played there too.
Really?
Dude, that was the first show I ever played in my entire life was there. Over
Whoa.
in Kennesaw.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Like a traitor to your band.
You know, no, because my guitarists were
Time out,
into...
guys. Can you hear Joe?
You sounded quieter
Yeah,
to
you
me.
did sound a little quiet.
No.
It's still just you need to up it a little bit.
I don't think so. I don't think I can hear at all. We're gonna take little technical difficulties. Oh,
Is there? There's
Should have
an
already
on
been on
switch.
it, but I.
Oh, there it is.
And welcome back, Joe.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
better.
we're gonna keep that.
That's better.
We're gonna keep that.
Yeah, that's great.
We're gonna keep that.
Hell yeah.
Okay, where were we? Sorry, guys.
Oh, I asked if you were a traitor.
Okay, yeah. So, at first I thought going back, I was kind of like introduced to all this stuff through a guitarist in my band, and he was like, and I just didn't understand it. I really didn't get it, and it was just like, whenever you're driving around, it was always like pretty lights and Lord Voldemort bass nectar. So it was it's just like, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget. It was our CD release party, and Borgore was in town, and it was at King Plow before Terminal West or whatever.
Oh,
and
wow.
and
What?
like, dude, it was our CD release party, and maybe like 50 less people, like of our friends, didn't show up. And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is a Borgore? Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, screw this guy, man. Like, and then seeing videos, just like, oh man, no, this is not. And then anyway, I was like, I'm gonna go check this shit out. And then somebody brought me to a Rusko show, and oh my god, you guys,
So good.
Rusko's the shit, man.
I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I thought he was creating everything live. I didn't know. I was just like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah,
This is really
I could
cool.
see how like those guys in that scene, the punk rock scene, could hate on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because they don't get it though.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't, and you got a lot of straight edge people in
Right.
the. So it's like they don't really. It's hard for them to get introduced to those things because they don't really go to those places.
One of my friends, he still does, like, he plays guitar and just like is super into hardcore like metal and shit like that. And he didn't understand it when I was explaining to him. He's like, I don't get DJs. He's like, I don't want to play other people's music. I'm like, I can't even begin to get into this conversation with you right now. He's like, I want to play my own music. And I'm like, I just can't even. You just don't get it.
Yeah, it's like trying to talk to my dad about it. It's like they don't understand.
Yeah.
It's honestly like the best way to explain it is to bring him to something.
Yeah, you got to be
like,
thrown in.
Really, like.
Have you brought your dad?
I've tried, it'll happen eventually. I was gonna bring him to the G Jones show, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because
my
it would have
God.
been so much.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like-
That's
You got
a
to bring
lot.
him to an Millennium show.
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Adventure Club or
Yeah, like
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of people over the years where it's like they're like, I want to go to my first show.
Yeah.
And you feel this pressure to like, okay, like, because if it's one of those
Can't be
things,
the
I
wrong
feel
one.
like if it's the right one. And now I did that to one friend, and now she's, kind of one of these like Instagram festival. She's got it going on. But then I had another one. It was just too heavy of a show. Couldn't read the room with her, and like she's like, I hate it. I'll never go back. And so we've always said I feel like Millennium's maybe like a good stepping stone. There are other people that are
It's
kind of
true.
good stepping stones.
That's true.
But a Rusko song was actually the first EDM song I ever heard. I have like a vivid memory in college of just in one night. It came across on YouTube, and I'd never heard anything like. You're like, what is this sound? And it's so confusing. But you're like, I like it. I really like this. And then I got thrown into doing like. I got hired for a blog, like an EDM blog, and they started sending me to festivals to like interview people and stuff like that. But at the time, like you were saying, I didn't even know the difference between like what DJing and like producing was. Like that's how like I just and so they're trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, I feel like I don't know anything. And then you just get thrown into the situations. You're like, okay, start getting it.
yeah.
So, Kelsey and my fiance brought, at the time, my fiance's ex-boyfriend to a Getter show, right? They're going to bring him to a Getter show
Oh
first
my
for a time.
gosh.
But they brought him to a Getter show when he started doing his different weirder sets.
Oh, wow.
And so they had to explain to her, like, dude, we swear this is not normally what it is.
Yeah.
I almost went to that show too.
The Athens one?
It was in the Masquerade, I think.
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember some there. I think there was one in Athens too,
visceral,
though.
that
Yeah,
was-
I think there was, but yeah, I remember that, and I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go.
Yeah. I have a memory of someone throwing a bra on stage
Yeah,
from that show.
Sick.
Yeah. It was into, yeah. But he enjoyed it.
I remember playing with Getter back at Iris, like at Rush Lounge.
Whoa.
Like,
Yeah.
The first Iris.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
seeing AT Aliens there.
Yeah, man, dude, it's
The
great.
Quad. Did you ever go to the
So
Quad?
I was a resident there. I played there like 4 nights a
Really?
week.
Whoa.
Did you still go by Yates?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? Wow. I remember
I
Silo
didn't do the
playing
whole-
there.
yeah.
She's friends with Silo.
Oh yeah, Tyler's
Ninja
good
Flash.
people. Oh yeah, dude, Charles
had-
is good people, man. I
Char-
love
who?
Charles Ninja Flash.
Okay, yeah.
Him and his wife Cassie are like just still to this day are really
Oh,
close.
Cassie Nova?
Yeah, they're good people, man. Like, and like I think who else was?
How
on
come
that?
I didn't know that they were married?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm out.
I think Zuba was on that residency too.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was, man, and then Midnight Panda too. It was,
Yeah.
man. That was the crew.
Remember they had Base Wars?
Yeah, Base Wars was the
Base
shit.
Wars was the fucking shit, man.
Dude, I remember seeing Cookie Monster there.
I remember seeing Datsik there.
yeah, I think
Skrillex played there one time.
Never went
Yes, yes. I was at that show. I was
Oh,
at
really?
that, dude.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
because I remember I was like, oh my god, it's Sonny Moore, and everybody's like, yeah, it's Skrillex, and I'm like, who the fuck is Skrillex? I was like, fuck that shit. This is from first to last right there, bro. That's my childhood right there. Like,
Do you have a favorite venue in Atlanta now? Or maybe
Man.
like a top 3?
Sure. I would say, man, it's crazy because there's so many new venues.
He wants to be
popping
able to play the other venues too. So
up. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like, of course, Terminal West. I've only gotten to play there one time.
top 3.
And it's like by far the best sounding.
It's just a good
Yeah.
environment. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, free water.
Yeah.
Small things like that can
Yeah,
go a long
that's
way.
seriously, that's
Literally.
like so key.
You been to the Eastern?
Yeah, I like the Eastern. It's really, you know what?
So
I
cool.
will say this is probably my favorite venue. Is I really love the Roxy. I
Really?
really do. I think it sounds so good in there, and that is like really like that's the first and most important thing. Like I hate going to a show and sitting like even up in like whatever the balcony or whatever, and not being able to feel anything.
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like there's certain I'm not
Like
gonna,
so
Yeah.
close, but
I'm not
not
gonna-
being like
I got you.
immersed in it.
I'm not gonna rat them out, but like there are venues in the city that like that are so sick, and then like I can barely hear the
like, just
fucking
do a little
show.
more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, damn, I paid all this money to go to this show. and
Yeah,
can't even hear
yeah.
it. So I don't know. I would definitely say like consistently the Roxy is always good. Terminal West is good. And I really like 529 as far as
Oh.
like a small
yeah,
venue.
yeah, yeah.
529. My mom is co-owner of that.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually throwing a show there coming up.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
my-
awesome. Small world.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
And yeah, I never ever go there either.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta come to our show
Yeah.
over there, man.
When is it?
So, all right, I'll say it here first.
Yeah,
No,
we're-
this is news right here.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So my company,
Exclusive.
yeah, my company Frequency 36. We've been like scouting venues. We're about to like do some big ass shit come like August, September. But we're gonna start out throwing a couple like little smaller things just to get back in the routine of thing. But I'm gonna bring smokestacks and research chemicals on a Thursday night in July there.
Nice.
And that's gonna be so sick. I feel like it's just
Nice.
like,
Hell yeah.
I've been trying to get. Well, I love. His name's Ethan, but he goes by Smokestacks, and his other alias is Research Chemicals, which is like a lo-fi project, which is by far like some of my favorite music like ever right now. Like, or his music is fucking incredible. So I'm really excited. to bring
exciting.
him. Yeah.
And you're playing as well.
Yeah, I'll probably play that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do that one. Just I don't want to put myself on too many of my shows, but
Yeah.
like for that one, because we've been like kind of passing tracks back and forth for a long time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
we're gonna wreck some shit.
That's awesome.
That
fun.
venue 529s, I feel like it's normally known for like rock type.
Yeah.
This isn't East Atlanta.
Yeah, like I've been to a couple metal shows there, and they're always fun.
Yeah.
Like, my homie Brandon Boyle, he's the one.
What is that name?
He's the owner of Speakeasy Entertainment, so he's the one that throws like he's the one that threw like Jade Cicada and all that.
Okay, gotcha.
And he does all the stuff at Al 5 and everything. He's like, I really look up to this guy because I mean he's really like just a don in the industry. He's throwing like 10 shows a week. It's crazy. Like like literally last week I ran into him and he was like, "Yeah, I'm on my 10th show this week." I'm like, "This is fucking
Holy
nuts, dude!"
crap.
Like, what?
I wish I
don't even
had
know
that much
how to, like-
energy.
I don't even know how to
What?
like
Oh my gosh.
fit that in my brain.
Right.
You know what I
Jesus
mean? Like,
Christ, dude.
so yeah, and he's really like
It's a machine.
Yeah, so he's really like he brings some of the coolest shows to Atlanta. So like it's really neat.
I'm excited, like, just for kind of summertime in general, because it's just, there's house things outside, like, and it's just, I don't know, man, going to stuff in the winter, it's just not the same.
Well, it's dead, too. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
it's
hard.
dead.
It's hard. Like, I don't want to throw huge shows in the winter. Like, it's too difficult.
How frequently are you wanting to like host shows?
So the goal would be, probably once a month, but, as far as, like, these big ones, like, you'll see here soon what we're working. I really can't talk about that yet, but it's I would like to do like 2 or 3 big ones a year, like on a like 1,500 people kind of deal.
Hell yeah.
So, and we're planning, creating everything for that. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully in August. So you gotta be smart about those kind of shows.
Yeah.
It's really risky.
Well thought out, like, you want
it's
to feel
like,
prepared.
Get the right people involved too.
And give yourself enough time to kind of maneuver any setbacks that
Seriously.
happen along the way.
Oh, and 'cause they will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think Cephas, aka Dexter. Shout
boy.
out to Dexter.
My boy, love Cephas, dude.
He said
Cephas is
that
good
He's a character.
shout out to Dexter.
Yeah.
Man.
It's good people, man.
He said that you used to book at Arcadia.
Yeah. Yep.
So, sorry, I had a brain fart. I was just gonna say, what is the benefit for you to like curate shows and be the artist on it? What do you think the benefit is for that, or do you just like curating shows and putting people on? Or
It's a really good question. And this goes back to like things I tell these newer artists too. Yeah. So a little backstory. I moved to Florida, down to South Florida for like 4 years. So I moved back here about 3 years ago, or I guess almost 4 years ago now. And so it was really hard for me to get back into the scene here. I mean, like I was like reaching out to booking agents, trying to get shows and whatnot, and it was just like I get one here, but it really wasn't what I was trying to do. And I was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm gonna start doing this on my own. And so I started Frequency 36, which is my company. And so we started throwing shows. I mean, we've been throwing shows. Let's see, like. Yeah, ever since I really came back, and so I stopped doing that for a little while, and then came into Arcadia, and Arcadia was doing our after parties for like the Frequency shows too, and so we started building this relationship, and then people started connecting the dots, like, hey, you should come over here and see what you can do. So I came in, and I called all my people. I called my visual guy, which is my fiance's brother. He's the one that does visuals over at Arcadia still. He's fantastic. He goes by Light Graffiti.
wait. Was he the one that he does it at Arcadia now
Yeah,
still?
yeah. There's a couple that they do, but he's like the main guy.
Because one guy came over when Liddy Kidder and
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly came over.
I think that was somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was somebody that was with like Cephas and all that.
Okay. Anyways, my bad.
No, it's cool. So I called them, and then I called my sound guys, and I was like, yo, like, we're gonna this, like, I really saw the potential in it. I was like, we can really, like, this is something, like, it's a market. The after hours is a market that a lot of people are afraid to touch. So there's not a lot of competition, especially if you're doing like bass. I mean, there's definitely like, you got like your after hours that are house, so more tech house. But you didn't have anything like more of like what, the Wook bass, dubstep, or any, really anything else, drum and bass, anything other than house. So I saw like something really cool to tap into. And then we kind of like, as time progressed, we really got into a really good system where, I was booking like, artists that I would bring to Frequency shows. And I was able to bring them into Arcadia, like Josh Teed, Star Fox, Kirby Bright, Cephas,
a lot of shout outs this episode.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, like, it wouldn't be possible without my homies.
I'm
Yeah.
curious too. I know, like, for most artists, they have this period, where they're working on music, but they can't make a living off of it yet, and they still have like a full-time job, or they're doing other things. So throughout, I don't know, I want to say maybe the past like decade or so, like, were there other things that you were doing outside of music to kind of support yourself? Like, what were some of the maybe jobs you had and
absolutely.
stuff like that?
So, I've been in the restaurant industry forever, and that was like a route that I was like thinking about like actually pursuing, and I'm like really glad I didn't do it. And like nothing can get the restaurant industry. It's just I've been doing it for 12 years, and I was doing fine dining, which I was making great money, and it's awesome, but it is so it takes so much space in my head. And I ended up actually leaving my restaurant job to pursue my career and shows, and I'm actually going back to school as well. So
nice.
It's like if I didn't take this chance right now, I would never do it.
Back to school for what?
Psychology. So
Scientology.
I'm gonna read minds too. No, actually, I have a pretty crazy history of drug addiction, and like it really destroyed my life. I actually spent some time in prison too.
Oh wow.
So it was it's my calling to like my life was so hopeless at one point. Like I thought like my life was completely over. And it's like when I was in rehab, the time I went to rehab, it was so apparent that I needed to get my shit together and like share my story to people that like to hopeless people like that think this shit is really over, because I was facing like 15 years in prison.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like it was
Holy
some
moly.
serious shit. And like my life like got real quick, like within a matter of 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What age was that?
So I kind of let you in on what happened real quick. So, I was struggling, like, sadly my mom like passed away, like, I think it was 2016, and it's just like my world kind of like got rocked then. I was like, I couldn't, like, everything around me was like fucked. And I was having a lot of success in music with my job, everything like that. But my like self-love was like everything around me was falling apart. And I couldn't stop drinking, it was just like I couldn't, whatever I did, I just couldn't get away from it. And eventually, like, I got into a car accident where, I was in Cobb County, actually. I was in Smyrna. And I was going through a pretty hard time. And I was heading back to my house. I was moving out of my house, and I was heading back to my house, and I was really mad and came over a hill, and I hit a guy on a moped. Yeah.
Damn.
And didn't see him.
Holy shit.
It's just like right out of nowhere. And I hit this guy going 50 and a 35.
Oh shit.
And I went,
Was he okay?
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Like by the grace of God, this guy is fine. But like, so I didn't know, if this guy was alive for like 15 days, like while I was in treatment,
That's
so I was like
hanging over
pulling
you.
out my hair, I had no idea. And I'll never forget, like one morning, like I went out to I was in Florida for my rehab, and I went out there and I sat there and I just like had this like crazy calm sense of like everything is going to be okay. And like dolphins were coming up in the bay, and it was like a really beautiful.
This was in Florida?
Yeah, it was and I was like, I really got this sense of like, okay, like pull your shit together. Like, you know what I mean? And, then I got a phone call from my dad that night, and he said that the guy is alive and he's fine, and somehow like makes no sense whatsoever. And he's like, and I pulled the bumper out of the guy, the out of the truck, and on the back of the bumper it had an AA sticker of his moped. And so like. If that's not something right there,
that puts things into perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
So that really right there was everything. And like, I'm telling you, like, I'll never forget that. And I will I can't even begin to explain like everything like I mentally went through that, and it's just like I literally thought my life was over. And you know, it's just like when you work hard and you try and you really like try to get your shit together, like you really like. Well, we're gonna have to edit this part. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
It's like you really, you know, if you really like set your mind to something and you really want to better yourself, like there is fucking hope. You know, if you really like.
And this is seriously something to be proud of, that you've gotten this far, and like this, a lot of people can't say the same, but I think what makes it hard sometimes when you're really trying to, like, you have that realization, you're trying to move on, but a lot of the shame and the guilt can kind of, it's like a tug of war that you just kind of, you have to just have that positive mindset and like, I can do better from here, but it can sit with you, and I think that's what makes it hard too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just, you know, and I think I'm grateful for all these things all these bad things that have happened in my life have made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's, I couldn't imagine my life being any different. Really.
Yeah.
So
And I've only known you for 30 minutes, and I can tell that you
really good guy.
Yeah, you're a really good guy. You have a great head on your shoulders, and
well, thank you.
I would never have known that about you, and it just seems like it just goes back to what we talked about this last podcast too. You know, people grow and people deserve second chances, right? And you prove that, like, literally you're a living example of that. So
yeah, I mean, when you go through something like that, it's like you can go two ways.
Yeah, exactly.
You can either give up or you can like get back up on the horse.
Yeah.
And like failure was not an option for me. Like I just like, but you know, with all the failures in my life have just inspired me to just try to be the best human being I can possibly.
Is that why? I assume that's why when I guess I offered you a mimosa, you're like not trying to drink a mimosa.
You know, look, nobody wants true drinking.
But yeah, I mean,
but you know,
that's what I always struggle with, that question of like, what's your biggest like regret? Because it, like you were, it's like I'm sure, yeah, I fucked up on a lot of things, but like it got me here. So I'm not gonna, you can't regret it. It's all a learning experience. As long as you just see everything as a learning experience, then we'll be fine.
100%.
Is that why you were in Florida?
Yeah, so I got into that accident and I moved down there, went to treatment, and then I like got clean down there and started a whole new life. I literally, like, my life was wonderful down there, and like I had to come back to do that little prison sentence. So
Oh, okay. So you weren't living there at the time outside of a treatment.
no, I did. Like I got out and I ended up like completely starting over down there, which was honestly like the most freeing thing I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Were you into music? Did you get back into music right afterwards?
I did, yeah, and like everybody was like so afraid of me like going back into music, and I'm like, no, I have to have music.
Well, that's a good thing that you say that they were afraid. That means they care about you, and they were, you know, looking out for your well-being. Those are good friends.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, my family's been super supportive.
Seems like despite the hard, you had this kind of inner voice.
Oh man,
it's a subtle inner voice that just kind of gets more confident and louder as you get better.
I agree. It's just like I said. It's just the willingness not to fail. Like, you know, it's just so loud.
It's kind of a random question, but like, how long did it take kind of your body to feel like, because you talk about people like getting clean and they're like, oh my God, and it takes that kind of month maybe or 2 months to get to that point, and they're like, oh my God, like this is amazing. How long did it take for you to kind of get there?
I would say like at least 2 months.
Yeah.
You know, and to the point where like, you know, I really wasn't thinking, and it's like, it's pretty amazing. Like you sit there and one day you're just like, damn, I don't have even thought about this shit in like a week.
And you don't realize how much of
you're like, wow. And then it's like, you know, I explained it recently. It's like, I still remember really well learning how to read, or like being like, when it came across, or it came to me that like, holy shit, I can read. And I'll never forget, I was in first grade. I remember this clear as day. It's really strange that I remember it.
It's weird, those core memories that stick with you.
It's crazy, right? And so yeah, like I remember I was like running around reading everything in the house, and I'm like super excited.
I can read.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like I was like reading coasters and shit, you know, like, and then my like everybody's laughing, you know, but it's kind of like the same feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, holy shit, like, you know, I'm not tied down to something anymore. You know what I mean? That's truly like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
proud of you. That's awesome.
I think,
Hell yeah.
you know, it's not, I'm not looking for anybody to be
Yeah,
proud
but
of.
no,
It's like,
I mean,
it's just something that like,
speaks a lot to your character, and
yeah, a lot of people ask, like, how do you go out and do all this shit? It's like, well, I have an intention on being there. Like, I don't go hang out at a fucking bar and like stare at the guy across from the bar, you know, like fuck that shit. But like, you know, like, but like if there's music, there's like a reason for me to show and face or whatever, like business, anything, or just enjoying myself. Like, no, I don't think about that shit.
Yeah,
It doesn't,
yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
I was just gonna say, ask you, since just to piggyback off you being in Florida, how would you describe the music scene, the difference between like over there and Atlanta?
Sure. It's very, very different. But I kind of like it down there. It's kind of cool. So I was living
Better?
different.
yeah,
Different.
Very
Okay.
different.
What part of Florida?
I was in Fort Myers. So I was like,
yeah.
so it's really like, it's kind of like a small beach town.
Yeah,
there.
I love it there.
Yeah, I really do too. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it really is gorgeous. And I was on a little label down there called Infinite Collective, and they're like, dude, they throw a Wednesday event and it's like 300 people there. And
Whoa.
Damn. Yeah, it's crazy. On
Damn.
a Wednesday, every Wednesday.
Holy-
like shout
that's
out
crazy.
Infinite Collective. You guys
That's
are awesome.
nuts.
Boom!
Like, yeah.
Shout out number 9.
No, for real, those guys, like, I'll never forget, I was, like, blowing their shit up, like, coming to all their events, and then they finally, like, called me, and they're like, hey, our opener dropped, like, do you want to play? And I'm like, sure. So, like, I brought my whole guitar and everything, and they were like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then, like, I got off stage, and they're like, yo, you want to be part of Infinite Collective? So, I, like, dude, honestly, like, it was really, I'm super thankful for those guys. Like, they allowed me to be able to play, like, 2 or 3 shows a week.
That's awesome.
That's
really
so
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, so smaller scene there. Definitely not as much money as like, you know, the production as
Understandably
far
so,
as you
yeah.
see here, but like it's so genuine down there.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
Yeah,
The
no,
fact that it's
you
a
know
s-
what? Genuine is a really good word to describe what probably was down there, because sometimes in Atlanta it doesn't feel genuine.
No, man. No, it really doesn't sometimes. You know, I love Atlanta, don't get me wrong. Like and I love my close-knit Atlanta fam, but like I don't know. There's something about how like we were
It's a
literally
lot of
just-
politics here in Atlanta, dude.
Man, if
And-
you want to do anything, it's like you got to get permission to do it. It's
Yes,
like fucking
you
crazy.
literally-
And that's, I mean, I feel like that was one of our motivations with starting the podcast was like, we want to do our own shit, right? We want to, and we saw like kind of with you curating your shows, you saw a market in that. We saw a market in this. Nobody's really doing this, right?
Right.
And so like, and we love underground artists. Like that's all we listen to. And like, we're sick and tired of not seeing shows where they're playing at.
Yeah.
So,
And don't get me wrong, there's still good people coming here, but it's these same big people you see all, and we're like, no, but like this person is so good and it fits, and it's just like, the politicking.
You know, I think it has a lot to do with like booking agents too.
That's
It's a
that's
really
true.
like, dude, and how expensive it is to bring these fucking artists here. Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
that's the thing. Like, people really don't understand how much money is going into this shit. Like, it is insane. Like, and then they're mad, you know, that's like, well, that we didn't have a LED wall. It's like, the fuck, man? Like, I'm literally paying $20,000 to make this event happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. It's and then just as far as dealing with these agents, man, like, just for instance, some of these artists we're bringing, it's like it costs all in all like $1,500 to get them here, and they're not that big yet.
yeah.
That and it's because one, it's the economy, it's the flights, it's everything, and it's just
A lot of logistics.
it's difficult. The best way to do it is like, you know, is find like these tours that are coming through and then figure out a routing, because that's
Right.
the only way to like really like
Yeah.
be successful. Like, it's crazy.
True.
Did you guys have any other specific questions you guys wanted to ask before we get into some of these segments and topics?
I don't know. I don't have anything specific.
Maybe if you guys come up with something.
Yeah,
along
I'm
the
sure
way.
I'll-
Yeah.
come through.
One thing we wanted to talk about was you brought it up earlier. You just brought up the name Pretty Lights.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Nectar, Pretty Lights.
Sure.
Were you big Pretty Lights guy back in the day?
You know, sadly, I was more a Nectar guy.
Yeah, so was I.
I hate it. Yeah. Can't applaud that.
No, I was the same.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I loved Pretty Lights. I tell you what, I appreciate Pretty Lights more now that I've been producing for like 5 years. That like, I mean, he's a fucking genius. I mean, it's really like, I cannot wait to see, because I remember like sometimes, and I hate saying this, but like there's been times where I was kind of bored at a Pretty Light set, and like I will never feel that way ever again. Like I'm really excited to see this tour.
Yeah, very interested to see this comeback because a lot of people, they take like a hiatus and then they make a comeback and it's not the same at all.
Yeah.
Who else is kind of I've been seeing more of too? Were you big into Hoochie?
You know, not really. Not really. No, but you know, it's only because I wasn't exposed to him like that. You know what I mean? I think I do know of his music and he's sick.
You kind of
So-
think about there are some things where like you maybe could have been into it if you were introduced at the right time
Yeah,
in your
it's
life.
everything. There's so much music out there.
Yeah, and then I think from like a production, I think about like, oh, I would love to produce music because I feel like when you do, it gives you a different perspective on other people's sounds because you understand more of the back end of like what's going into it and
For
makes
sure.
you appreciate it more. I'm
Oh,
sure.
100%. It's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of hard, like, because I'll go, like, to shows, like, doing math equations in my head practically, like, trying to figure out how the fuck they're doing all this shit, you know? But that's what's inspiring, too. It's also, like, it also can be, like, a little overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, Resident Language, listen to this guy, man. Like, I'm
Right,
telling
noted.
you.
Resident Language.
Yeah,
Noted.
dude, this guy, like, I'm telling you, he's part of Brick Squash, too. And
Brick Squash.
yeah, and we brought Arcadia. We brought him and Ultra Sloth back, not like a few months. It was the Jade Cicada after party, and I got to like hang out with this guy, and I'm just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And I'm like trying to like not be a fanboy whatsoever, but I'm like, dude, your music is fucking
Yeah.
sick, bro. Like I don't even know like how like
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. I don't even know where to begin with him. Like he locked
Language,
himself in
noted.
a fucking room for 20 years. And didn't leave.
So you're into curating shows. Also, we wanted to ask you about. You hear about the Skrillex, Red Rocks, all that shit going on. How do you feel about
man.
that? Well,
So expensive, those
I
damn
know.
scalpers,
I
man.
know.
And then you have to buy flights on top of that, and like
Yeah,
it's,
like what?
would be yeah.
I don't know too
know.
much of like the premise of this. So like can you give like a not a backstory, but like just
Jill,
what's going on?
Does anybody know? Because I don't want to butcher this shit.
Sure.
It's sold out in like seconds.
Seconds.
The Red
And
Rock
so-
show, yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Really?
Pretty Lights
Oh.
was maybe worse.
Oh, really?
Really?
I had to
Yeah.
buy resold
Fuck.
tickets for the Eastern show, and I spent like $500, and I only got 2 days, not 3.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
yeah, it's bad.
I'm gonna end up only going to one day, I bet. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to catch
Fuck,
that Hulu,
man.
but like,
Yeah,
Who's going on? So it's gonna be Pretty Lights. Who's going on tour? Have they announced that yet?
yeah,
I don't even know.
I think I saw. There are support down. It's on the bottom.
It's like Skrillex is supporting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I saw.
No wonder.
I saw like Michael Minerd on there, which he's awesome. So, but other than that, I really didn't. Which is kind of cool. I didn't recognize too many of the names, which I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty Lights is really good about like putting on new instrumentalists, which I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for instance, actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Never mind. Sorry,
It's the Out of Pocket podcast. You can say whatever you want, man.
man. This artist might yell at me. That's
Okay. We'll leave it out then. So Kelsey, or who came up with this segment? It's called People As.
Yes.
You want to explain it? Dalton, you want to? Is it ready?
We can try working on pulling it up.
Okay.
Would you want to?
My bad. My bad.
Would you want to do Would You Rather first?
Would you? Okay, whatever you want to do.
All
Would
right.
you rather do this segment or that?
Oh.
Got him. So
Damn.
yeah, so
Damn.
we'll get into people as
Kill him.
so yeah, people as will be fun because we basically we're gonna I have a list of, it's a kind of a mix of DJs but also just kind of famous people everybody knows, and then we have categories you compare them to.
Okay, cool.
Quick question: you like Sullivan King? Because he was he's like a metal guy.
Do I like his music or do I like his live set?
Ooh,
I can answer
you're
that for you. I
exactly
already
right.
know.
There
I already
you
know
go.
how you're gonna answer it.
That's how I feel about Ganja White Night personally.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too.
Sure.
What?
I
Dude.
do like Ganja's musical.
And I do like it, but it's not like it's not like the go-to thing I
Sure.
pick, but I go to a set and I'm like,
Yeah,
Sets?
it's
oh my
like
God.
It's like I'm not gonna go listen to Excision in me personally, but would I go see him live?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
for
that shit's
sure,
cool,
yeah.
man.
When I was
artisan.
I went to Forbidden Kingdom in like 2020, and we were sitting on the side of the road waiting on our Uber, and like this is like the end of the night, we're all just like sitting there, like I'm like slumped over, and I didn't even
every day
see,
for Joe.
So I didn't even see this happen, and I'm really pissed off that I missed it.
Yeah.
But like the people I was with, we were all just sitting there. Apparently, this car comes driving by, and Sullivan King's head is out the car, and he's like,
He's doing that face.
and he just drives past us.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna pull up the face
And,
here.
and I didn't even, I was like, I missed it. I'm really pissed off about it to this day. But everyone we were with, they were like, was that Sullivan King? Like,
That's cool though.
So yeah, we're gonna start with Would You Rather, which is, I mean, you're familiar with Would You Rather, I'm sure.
Yeah, of
Kind of
course.
everybody is. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So we came up with some questions. Yeah, I can just read them off.
Okay.
We added a lot to these, so there's a lot, and I'm trying to pick which
God.
ones are good.
Are you gonna do? Should we do random ones? Because I think we added them like. So like, you did a bunch, then I did a bunch, then so if Jill did a bunch, we won't get around to hers, or like how do you?
We definitely will not get through all these.
Okay.
So
Do
I
you
was just
wanna-
gonna pick
Okay,
like
okay.
two or
That's fine.
three.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Would you rather have to stand up in the middle of every wedding ceremony you attend and scream, "It should have been me," or take the microphone during somebody's reception speech and cry about how alone you are?
Oh my god.
I would say.
I came up with this one, and I don't know
That's
how I came up with it.
really
It was
creative.
a shower thought, and I was like, because I was thinking about weddings this year, and I was
Sounds like
like,
a shower thought.
yeah.
You've seen those bad weddings.
Originally, I would say the first one personally, but then I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
It's a
I'm not about to
long-term thing.
I'm not about to
Yeah.
ruin there's this moment for them.
Yeah.
Maybe the not the ceremony. Maybe the reception would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could play that off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with that too.
Yeah.
I would
Definitely.
say the reception.
I feel like
also.
if you say it should have been me, like people might laugh and take it, but if you're just sitting there talking about how alone you are and people are like, like
what if you're with a date?
I don't know.
What if you have a date with you and you do it?
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I would have to pick that
They
one.
would
though.
want to have a conversation afterwards.
Yeah.
I guess I would totally have to pick like the second one just because you could somehow, like you said,
Yeah,
make
make
that
it
funny
yeah.
and just
Yeah.
like dude, no.
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
Okay. Would you rather have your body found on a pile of sex toys or a pile of drugs?
Like dead?
I would say sex
Yeah, I would
toys.
say sex toys.
Jill
just
said,
because of my past.
Yeah. I know. As I was reading it, I'm like, oh, well, I kind of know the answer to that
Jill
one.
said dead.
I just like to
I don't know. You could be just.
I like to leave
Sleeping.
my family with a lot of questions. So, yeah.
Right. Either way, there's
Either
a lot
way,
of questions.
yeah.
A lot of questions
way.
here. Yeah, I would say
Sorry, fam.
say sex toys, I guess.
I would too. Yeah.
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 Either
yeah.
way, it's stuff to go around for everybody now.
Yeah.
It'll recently.
Yeah.
Wait, are they used sex toys?
Oh, that's
They're also in the box.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, me and my buddies, I don't ask why, we were just looking up sex toys online, just fucking around, and there's this thing called a fuck me silly, right? It has a pussy and tits and an asshole, right? No head, no arms, no legs. It's called a fuck me silly. It feels like a real person apparently, right? And we're looking at it, and it's expensive. It's like $500, right?
Oh my god.
So then he's looking at it. He's like, "Oh, there's used ones. It's for cheaper." For cheaper. Yo.
It's like new.
Yeah.
Used.
Oh my god.
Lightly worn.
Condition bad.
That's so gross.
Yo, that is so
That's
fucking
so
funny.
gross. Oh my god. Jeez. Oh my god.
Like, oh my god, I can't believe that's even a fucking option.
I'm gonna pull it up here. So you gotta know what it is.
Wait, but how much was the
That's true.
discount?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
No, no.
how much?
That's
how much money
important.
off are we talking?
Yeah, 50%.
Oh,
Let's
man.
see.
Oh man.
Would you rather lick peanut butter off of a homeless man's foot or allow the homeless man to lick inside of your ear for a minute?
God.
Dude, those are awful.
Yep. There's a lot of I went through a lot of thoughts when I was thinking about this one.
Are
'cause-
you okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just fucking you.
I think I would rather have the ear because it's like I couldn't pick like the mouth on, like, you don't know where their foot's been. At least you can kind of wash out your ear easier, but then you got to smell their like odor in their breath.
No,
they're
somebody
gonna be
doing
like-
somebody doing it to me is just throwing me off. Somebody
Yeah,
doing it
I'm
to
right
me.
there with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, when I'm the one like doing the act, as weird as that sounds, it doesn't sound as bad, right? Right? When somebody's doing it to me, right? I feel violated, bro.
You're just, like,
I feel
helpless.
violated. I'd
Sitting
rather,
there.
Yeah.
I'd rather be doing the violating.
So yeah, helpless.
Yeah.
Give me your foot, bro.
Give me your foot.
Yeah. So
Where that peanut butter at?
choosing?
I would have to say the peanut butter, man. Like, or the on the foot.
can't.
I'm prone to ear infections.
Yeah, that's
I'm like not fucking kidding. Like,
Oh man, I was wondering if you were making that shit up.
no, I'm being dead ass
like,
serious.
not kidding.
I'm being dead
That's
serious.
funny.
And I know, like you guys, this is fucked up. All right, when I got baptized as like a child, like I got an ear infection. Like,
whoa.
yeah, like,
Is that a bad sign?
dude,
That holy water.
I still think about this shit. Like, yeah,
Oh
so yeah, like if that. So just thinking about a homeless man licking my ear, I know I get an ear infection.
I feel like they'd be like,
And like he's
little
like the
mama,
homeless
whisper in your
person. The homeless person's probably so hungry. He's like eating
Oh my
that ear.
God.
oh my god, Kenny, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
He's got to get all the protein.
Hell, you should lick the peanut butter off his own foot.
Yeah, I was about to say he'd probably join you on the fucking peanut butter. It could be like a. Oh my god.
No, don't say it.
Basically, let's hope this situation never, ever happens.
And it could be like a no.
Sorry, I'm getting creative over here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing foot.
Ooh,
I love the
but
cat stickers on like everything.
this is Liddy Kidder.
Yes.
This is Liddy Kidder.
Literally.
He did it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so we're
Brought-
gonna leave them until they
the
fall
whole
off.
time they had these like just like a plethora of little toys and knickknacks, and
Inside
throughout
them.
the whole thing would just set them places.
That's kind of funny.
Loved
That's
it.
awesome.
He stacked them all up on here.
Is this him too, or is this you guys?
That one is different from the little snails, so I'm not sure.
The snails are us.
It's kind of like
Yeah, we
it's
did-
kind of nifty. Like you're
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Let's see. This might be one of our. Let's see. Would you rather walk around with wet socks for the rest of your life, or only be allowed to wash your hair once a year?
I say my hair.
yeah, I'll do the hair.
Dude, I could not
Sucks.
stand.
Nah, and you get sick.
But washing your hair once a year, for a girl,
For
it
a
might
gr-
be different.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
might
was
be
gonna
different.
say. It's different for us.
Because we could put on a hat, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I was like, I'd wear like a hat in public, like
Or I could just-
60% of the
I could
time.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go bald.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not.
There you go.
But see,
Put
I
some-
can't
Same
grow
token.
facial hair, so I'll look like a finger.
Yo, can we shave your head?
Yeah, I'm not gonna look right, dude.
Like the thumb guys from Spy Kids.
yeah, thumb thumbs.
yeah.
Thumb
Dude,
thumbs.
That's what I would look like, except
Thumb
I'm
thumbs.
skinny, so like I would look like a pinky.
Yeah.
I would be a pink.
Okay, wait. This will be our last one. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100 size. Wait,
hold on.
Let's say
this
one
one
more
more time.
time.
Would you rather
Jinx.
fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Bro,
Horse-sized duck. Horse-sized duck.
Horse-sized duck.
They don't have teeth.
I love that logic.
Yeah, why is it? That's the crazy. That's the first thing you like. It's like, oh, duh.
Nah, bro. No, ducks are already aggressive as is. If it's the size of a horse, I ain't fucking with it, bro.
That's true.
I'm
gonna
beating
do
the
to you?
fuck out of all those little fucking hundreds of. I'm beating the fuck out of all of them.
I feel like you could like, I don't know, some sort of way like maneuver your way around. Like, was that 100-foot duck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you could somehow like.
I just had
Sneak
like
attack
the.
it.
I just had the image
What?
in like.
You could. I feel like ducks are kind of like,
Dude,
slow.
if a duck was standing here the size of a horse, really put it in perspective. You ain't fucking with it, bro. I'm not getting near it.
It might take me a long time.
I just had
What can
like.
it do to you though? What would it like? It can't
Fucking-
do anything.
hit you with his beak and it's over with.
I just had like I had an image of like the Lion King movie when like it's on the cliff and all like the hyenas or whatever it is, and all the ducks are just like coming at you and just like, what do I do?
If
ducks instead.
if I ever like give an interview, I'm gonna like hit you up for some questions.
Oh yeah, I've got him going. My brain's like this all the time.
It's so great. Like, this is awesome.
But
It's a
yeah.
really good, really interesting question.
Yeah, and we just keep adding. Those are just a couple.
So
but
great.
so yeah, I guess we can. How much time do we have left?
Not a lot. But we can do the people as.
Okay.
though.
Sweet. So yeah, so people as
Explain this segment, please.
So basically, what I did, we'll pull it up on the screen, but I kind of created. It's 2 images, but it's a list of just a bunch of people. It could be there's like Jeffrey Epstein there, totally Kyle from. It could be anybody.
Totally Kyle.
Yeah.
Totally
Jeffrey
Kyle.
Epstein.
Yeah.
Those are like
Yeah.
so different.
I really
Yeah.
tried to get the spectrum of
everyone.
people.
Speaking
but
of totally Kyle, you guys hear about Drake Bell?
yeah, yeah.
What?
And he's
What do you
okay
do now?
He's okay now, I think.
Yeah,
but
he
they
okay
found
now?
him. He went missing.
He went missing.
and they said
Okay.
that like basically it was like they couldn't find him.
Yeah.
he was on suicide watch pretty much too because
Yeah.
he
sucks.
but he's found.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's
So-
I can go to. I'm gonna go to bed tonight. A little more at peace.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we have this list. There's 2 of these. I don't know if there's a way, Dalton, you can bring these both up at one time, or if we just want to work off of one of these at a time. That's fine too. We could do.
got fucking hip.
Yeah.
You got Mr.
Oh,
Beast.
the hitchhiker.
Kai.
Yeah, Kai.
We can just use this one for now. Then that's fine.
Did you see that documentary?
Yeah,
That was crazy.
right?
Wait,
I
what
didn't know
documentary?
that story
The
went
Kai,
that
the
deep.
hitchhiker.
Oh
hitchhiker.
yes.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
That was because
Yeah.
that was a.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I thought he was just on acid or something.
Same.
Yeah.
But I
Same.
feel like
And I only saw the original video. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
all this stuff happened after.
Yeah.
Like
Me neither.
at that time too. I don't know. I feel like now. We could have maybe seen through that more in this kind of woke culture. But they would have picked it apart. And maybe at
Yeah.
the time, but
Yeah.
that was so crazy. But so we have 2 categories.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pick one of them for this cast, if you want to call it. But what it is you're basically trying to pin these people to Shrek characters.
Oh.
So if you could
Okay.
equate them to characters in Shrek, the other category we have is Jersey Shore characters. So there's probably less Jersey Shore, like say Shrek characters than the amount of people up here, but just kind of looking through
No, there's
these.
a lot of Shrek characters.
So let's
There
think about
is.
the Shrek
Okay.
characters. And I'm gonna
Donald
pull it-
Trump is the prince.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
He thinks
I was
Charming.
gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Simon Cowell though. Wait? The prince is the short guy,
Well,
right?
yeah,
The-
Prince.
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
which
Prince Charming. For Lord Farquaad is the short
Okay,
one.
that's who I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
That's this one. I could see maybe.
Oh
this
yeah,
side
yeah,
by
yeah,
Cal.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah.
The king.
Yeah.
The king.
Let's see.
Let's see. My eyesight is so fucking bad. Bro.
So we have. I'll kind of rattle them off.
Who is
real
that
quick.
first person? Right
Trisha
there?
Paytas.
I gotta look up here.
Trisha Paytas was one I wasn't sure if everybody was gonna know, but she's on YouTube and she's just I don't even know
Is
how
that
to explain
Boogie
her. She's a
T?
clown. Yes.
wait, is she the ASMR girl?
I don't know. So we have Trisha Paytas, Mr. Beast, Boogie T, Donald Trump, Jordan Peele. It just went away on the screen.
Periodic table of Shrek.
Yeah. I tried to find one that had all the images of the characters, and that was the only one I could somehow find, which is insane.
This is kind of tricky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so I would say, who's the dragon?
Oh, someone who just wants love. You know?
Yeah,
Someone who just wants love.
And who's Donkey? That's what I've been thinking
Donkey.
Maybe Boogie T.
Donkey.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Boogie T is donkey.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, Chris Harrison has to be the donkey.
That's true. Or Kai.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that tracks.
And then we can make a spin-off on this and like have like the dark side of Donkey.
Yeah. But I mean, Hitler's obviously a dictator, so like.
So he's kind of
has
like
to be Lord Farquaad.
right?
Yeah, right.
Or he could maybe be the dragon.
I don't remember that character in the bottom.
Oh, that's Rumpelstiltskin or whatever. Wait, right?
Gotta be in one of the like thirds. That's
Oh
like
my
the
God,
third
Carol
sequel right
Baskin
there.
is the fucking
Puss in Boots.
fairy godmother.
Oh my God!
She's the fairy
I didn't
godmother.
even see Carol Baskin
Because she's like
up there.
backhanded and like.
there she is.
Yeah, she's definitely that one.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's
took the cat
definitely-
approach on that one.
Yeah.
But no, I see what
Oh,
you're
so the
saying.
one next to Carol Baskin is Jake from State Farm. And so I don't know how he fits in
I
here,
think
but
he's Pinocchio.
yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely Pinocchio.
What about Willy Wonka?
Maybe the wolf.
Yeah.
Or the
I can see
gingerbread
that.
man?
I think
Not the gumdrop buttons. You know what I'm realizing is we're missing some because like oh wait, no, Puss in Boots is on there.
You know, I think my favorite scene in Shrek, and it's like so low key, is when they're like he comes home from and like all the animals are like in his house and shit.
Yeah.
And then he like walks into he busts in his room and the wolf's just like
Yes!
laying there and he's like,
Yes, what?
I
I was almost
So
that.
great.
So I was on like bed rest during Halloween last year, and I almost was the wolf because I was like, I can just put it on. I don't have to do anything. Just like what?
Yeah, it's like what?
What?
It's
What?
like my favorite line in that whole movie, and it's so low
I
key.
love it. Never Shrek never gets old.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. I'm gonna go home and watch that shit.
You know, it's so fucking crude, that show too, for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the Drew Lock song? Drew Lock it.
Oh yeah.
Drew Lock it.
Oh, yeah. They're like, wipe your shoes, wipe your face.
Dude, yeah. That's just,
Oh man.
Yeah.
all those movies have like some sort of like
I love it.
adult meaning to
Toy
it.
Story
like,
that way.
dude,
yeah,
like,
love Toy Story.
It's great though.
Toy
'cause
Story is probably my favorite Disney.
Mm.
keeps the parents entertained.
Yeah, I feel like we've paired. I don't know because I can't really see a lot of these other ones fitting in.
Yeah.
If there was like three, what's his name from Family Feud?
Oh,
Steve Harvey.
Yes.
Okay, if there's three of Steve Harvey, I could see him being like the blind mice.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Who's above Chris Harrison?
That is the Burger King.
I thought that
The
was
Burger King. He's like in a real. It was like a meme at some point, but it's kind of one of those just heads that he put on. But
Yeah,
I thought that was Post Malone. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna give him that to Shrek, man. Just because he's gonna be Shrek.
I feel like Jordan Peele could also be Shrek.
Yeah, no, that's like totally it.
or
Definitely.
the donkey.
Or Donkey, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jordan Peele, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, he's doing the Twilight. He did the Twilight series. He did like
Nuh-uh.
a reboot. Yeah.
thank God, because those
And it's-
movies are trash, man.
and
Like,
it's all of his. Like,
okay, cool. That's
I'm
gonna
pretty
be
sure-
really good, actually. That's the first I heard about that.
Yeah,
because
they're
the
all-
books were good, and I didn't like the movies. I'm that guy. I was like, I thought it was terrible.
Wait, what
Like,
movies?
Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I
oh
was
my
a
God.
Twilight stan. I'm not
It
gonna
was
lie.
so-
I was gonna say, I bet you're into Twilight.
Jordan
I
Peele
was-
did,
I was
did
a
one.
Team
did it.
Edward.
Yeah, and he's.
Twilight was so cringe
Twilight.
to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, so bad.
So cringe.
Team Edward
But
or
the books
Jacob?
are good,
If you had to
though.
pick,
Yeah.
if you had to pick, Edward or Jacob?
Edward.
Yeah.
Because oh
I'm
man,
gonna say
Robert
the same.
Pattinson and like now.
But he's just
so
such
hot.
a better actor. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
And just like
Played
cool,
Batman,
cool
it was
guy.
pretty good.
I liked it.
Me too. A lot of people hated on that one.
I
thought it was awesome.
good. I thought it was really
great.
good.
And he was a badass in that bitch too.
Yeah.
And he kind of like they did an approach on that Batman where like
It
it was
was
more of a you would like it. It's more of a mystery detective. He played a detective pretty much as Batman. It was really sick.
You didn't
and he
see the new
actually
Batman?
she doesn't like superhero movies.
I understand that, but it's Batman though. So
It's
we got to
it's
put aside
different,
the
yeah.
prejudice
Yeah.
because I'm the same way. I don't like I don't like superhero movies like that, but I do like Batman.
Okay. Oh,
But it's dope because they kind of do a different kind of Batman where like he fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
shows how he fucked up. And
Right.
he's like
I think that he played Bruce Wayne in that like so perfectly because that's really like I feel like that's the character of Bruce Wayne. Like for real. That was good too.
Who was it that played the Riddler? Oh, he was awesome, bro. That dude was awesome.
Yo, you know who I said should have played that role was fucking Yeti, bro. It's so perfect, bro. He literally looks so perfect for that shit.
You know, who played the Penguin again? What's his name?
Oh,
I forgot his fucking name. But you know who was about to play him was Jonah Hill.
really?
Apparently, was about to play him. I feel
Dang.
like
I
he
can
would have
see
done
that
really
though.
good.
Yeah, I could see that.
Did you watch his documentary thing called Stutz on Netflix? Jonah
I
Hill's?
started it, yeah.
It's
Really good?
It's so raw and vulnerable.
I think I remember
and
like starting it too, and then I like got like busy with something.
it is. I mean,
Colin
it's
Farrell was
amazing.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'll check it
it's
out because
really
that's
good.
something I forgot about, and I was like, oh fuck. I need
It's
to go
like
back and watch
it
this.
starts off as kind of him interviewing his therapist, and it starts
That-
off black
yes,
and white, and then
yes.
it kind of goes into color. But the
awesome.
whole thing kind of switches, and it becomes
Yeah.
him getting more vulnerable through his
I
sessions. And like,
actually-
let's rework this whole project. It's like a 3-year. It's really
Cool.
awesome.
I actually
Yeah.
did see that. I thought it was something else, but yeah, and it was fucking fantastic.
So and they give like tools and tips at
dude,
the end.
therapy is like if you can
Oh my-
afford it, is literally
saving my life,
Literally,
seriously.
like if I will never bash therapy ever.
No.
It is fucking awesome and literally has saved my life.
I do it once
Like,
a week, and it is like the highlight of my week.
dude,
Like,
for real, like
and it
really,
can you
like-
can come out of it being a little.
Hell yeah! I mean, it's
But-
not like that's what people always like go into therapy and then they stop like halfway through, and that's like so not like that.
People
You gotta
wanna-
go through it.
People want to quit also when things get good.
Yeah,
And it creates this like, well, I don't. What am I even going into this for? Like, I don't want to just be complaining or like whatever. But like gotta keep through it sometimes, even when it gets
absolutely.
good.
I mean,
And-
especially when you go through like exposure and shit like that. It's like, what if you like stopped right in the middle of that? It's like
Yeah.
you leave like a crazy person, like
Yeah.
like even more crazy.
What if? So you said some people quit before they finish. Like, what do you mean finish? Like, when are you finished? But they're like, explain to the audience or me, like, who doesn't understand what that means necessarily.
Okay, I feel like real quickly, like it's very similar to the 12 steps. It's like, it's really like confronting your past, dealing with it, and then how to live with yourself from here. Like and I've been guilty of this too in the past. Is like therapy got way too fucking hard because like after the first couple of sessions, like you really start to where my therapist or back then he called it something called exposure, which is like they bring like all like he was really into hypnotism too, so like he would bring like all
it's kind of purposely putting you in front of the things
Yeah,
that
it
you
would
need
put
to
it, like,
confront
right.
in a controlled
exactly
way. Yeah.
And you're like you put like the trauma like literally in front of you, and then you work through it, like you learn it, like you really like learn how to deal with it, you know.
Yeah, and I always say they don't have like answers, but they start helping you connect dots to things that I maybe not would have connected dots with things.
100%.
And then it's like, oh, and like
Makes
gives you more
Yeah,
perspective. Yeah.
and it's just exactly that.
What
100%.
did the hypnotism look like?
So it was really cool. He, he brought me like right into all of or something in my life that was super traumatic, and like literally like, got me into a state of meditation, and then brought it all to life, and then like it was like a rapid eye movement thing. So like he was like kind of like you focus on this whatever, and you kind of like you really like drift off. It's kind of wild, but
do that.
yeah,
Is it
it's
almost
really
like
cool.
Yeah.
You're like reliving it, kind of.
Yeah, you relive it, but then like they make that outcome better. Like it's still like he's still like it's everything still happened, but it changes your mindset on it.
It's so trippy.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, bro.
That's
Like,
I'm just trying to like I can't even comprehend what that's like. I'm just really trying to
I mean,
imagine
literally
this.
everything. It really like everything is created in your mind. Like any sort of situation and how you react to it is, or I would say all reaction are completely based in your mind. So like even if some traumatic shit is happening to you like right at this moment, it's like it kind of like almost like teaches you how to like get into I'm sorry, I'm tired. I like lost my train of thought.
You're seeing things in more real time when it starts happening.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, I see this is happening versus like
Right.
it's too late and then you realize it after.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're rather like you're more of like dealing with past feelings than just dealing with them head on.
And start seeing them objectively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Therapy is a great thing and I like highly recommend it. Like
Me too. Me too.
100%.
Y'all heard it here first. I think we're heading to a close. Is there anything you wanted to plug at the end of this? Any shout outs, any shows, any new music coming out?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I have a new EP coming out in July. Nice. So it's like done. I'm waiting for a couple of masters back, but you know, I'm taking this next release extremely serious. It's going to be about 5 or 6 songs. And each one of the tracks is coming out on a different label. So it's going to be kind of
that's cool.
Different. It'll be like a spider effect.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
awesome.
I mean?
And you already have them set.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Pretty
Hell
much. One's coming out with Visionary Labs. One's coming out with Dexter's label, actually. Juice Collective. And then I think the Dub Emporium as well.
Shout out 16, 17, and 18.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I got
Looking
that
forward to
coming
it.
up, and then First Frequency show back is July 6th. Like I said, we're bringing Smokestack Research Chemicals, myself, and Renee as well. And then in August, September, man, y'all are gonna see some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Love crazy shit.
It's gonna be really cool.
About to be
I'm excited.
crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna have a good time.
Hell yeah. Well, man, we appreciate
this
this
was
was a
fun. Thanks
great
for coming on.
conversation.
Absolutely.
This was a great podcast, man. Thank you for coming on.
I
and
appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of
Seriously,
course.
this has
I'm
been great.
excited to see this mix you got.
Yeah.
Because you're playing the guitar. So
Yeah,
we've never
I'm
seen
pretty
that
much
before,
gonna
so.
play this new EP. I'm gonna play a couple other things
some
too.
IDs, baby.
Yeah, so it'll be mostly this unreleased shit.
Yeah.
Yay.
Exclusive. We need the exclusive button.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never played this shit before. No one's actually heard it. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, y'all
Look,
do-
look, this is what we do, baby.
Yeah, y'all are getting the first
Don't
treat, man.
fucking play with us. Unless he drops something before we release.
I'm gonna throw a couple homies tracks in there, but you know, other than that, it's gonna be
We probably drop
fun.
like 2 weeks ish from now.
okay. Cool,
So.
sweet.
But anyways, OPP on 3, guys. 1, 2, 3.
OPP.
No one ever does the raise up with me.
I just did.
Okay.
ears or if anyone can hear it. And there's no need to try and ignore any noise or distraction going on around you, or to try too hard to clear your mind. Imagine yourself as a rock in the middle of a stream. All the noise and commotion that may or may not be going on around you just washes over you without having any effect. Focus on your breath. Think about how anything that has negatively affected your day up until this point, and with each out-breath you are simply going to imagine any unnecessary stress these events are causing you to feel just ease away. Breathe in and observe how you feel. Breathe out and feel it easing from your mind. Now, still breathing deeply, take a moment to visualize how you want the rest of the day to go. Imagine achieving any goals and successes at the end of the day and how that will make you feel. Create a mental picture of what that looks like and take a moment to play that out in your mind. Whenever you're ready, bring the exercise to a close and open your eyes.
Yo.
Pocket.